Hello, Internet Magic Man here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for Torchlight Frontiers. Now, apologies for the few days delay on when we actually wanted to post this. Troy, Blackburn, and I were going to do a dual first look. Schedule-wise, it just didn't work out. So here we are. We're going to spend about 15-20 minutes checking out Torchlight Frontiers, giving you my first impressions, and letting you take a peek at the game. Now, this is developed by Echtra Games and published by Perfect World Entertainment, and if you played Torchlight or Torchlight 2, the more offline single-player-y, not entirely single player, but you know what I mean, ARPG, then Torchlight should feel right at home. So first, let's take a look at creating a character here. Now, this is, to be clear, a technical alpha still, and while there is no planned wipes or anything while they're doing this, if you gain access to it, you'll have access to it from there on out, and it is a closed alpha, right? So things could change as they go along, and to be honest, there's some things personally, as a Torchlight fan, that I hope change. And there are some big things that I hope change that I realistically can't see them having the ability to change at this point. So there's some things that make me nervous, but right now, character creation, you have two classes to choose from. The Dusk Mage, who uses the power of light and dark to crush their enemies from afar, and you have the Forge, this little Johnny 5 steampunky type robot. They slice through the fray in a whirl of steam-powered blades and a chest-mounted cannon. Now, I will say that although they look very different, they do very much play in a similar fashion to each other. It's very build up one resource by using certain attacks, spend said resource. In the Forge's case, it's heat, and in the Dusk Mage's case, it's using light and dark abilities to max them up and then pop off one spell of the opposing color to trigger a buff for a little while, either increasing your energy regeneration or increasing your damage. Not too much in the way of character creation. Again, though, in these types of games, ARPGs, it's all about that sweet, sweet loot, and that's what's really going to make your character look different than other characters. So you pick a skin tone, name the bad boy, sure, that's fine, and then you pick your companion. So if you've played Torchlight 1 and 2, you're probably familiar with the pet companions. A lot of the Torchlight 2 functionality for the companions is in Torchlight Frontiers here, so you can load up their sack and send them back to the town to sell off your items while you're out in the wild. They do assist in combat, all that type of fun stuff. You've got your white, golden, and chocolate alpacas, red, golden, and teal owls, and you've got your golden, chocolate, and silver retriever. Once you've done that, you enter the world. That's it. I mean, that's all there is in the way of character creation. Again, the gear and the sweet, sweet loot being the reason your character would look very different. Now, I'm going to enter as a character I've played for as a little while. Again, the original intent here was to do a dual first look, so this isn't my first time jumping into the fray. I have gained some frontier levels, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Control-wise, click to move. So you click on your location, holding down the mouse button and dragging the left mouse button and dragging your mouse around will give you your movement in any direction you happen to be pointing. Your abilities work the same way, targeted abilities, much like a Path of Exile, Diablo, a typical ARPG control scheme. And even in the UI, we see the same elements that we see across the genre. Our health on the left, our resource, whatever it may be for your particular class, on the right, in this case mana. You see the two bars that I mentioned. Using light and dark spells will increase that bar respectively. Once a bar gets maxed out, pop something of the opposite color, and you'll get a buff for a short term. Our left mouse button is Digitus Strike. This is the strike that is going to be contingent upon whatever weapon you have equipped. So this ability can change based on equipping a different weapon. So we'll throw a sword there. Now notice I've switched to a slash type of ability on my left mouse. My other abilities stayed the same, but my actual left mouse button ability changes based on weapon. So you do have a bit of customization there. If you don't like a particular weapon style, you can switch to it, but generally your other abilities remain unchanged. It's that left strike, that build strike for most abilities. Right mouse button, I've got Unholy Bolt, and over here in W key, we've got Blood Drinker. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's my Relic Weapon at the moment. We'll get there in a little bit. I've got a few abilities mapped to 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I have gained through gameplay and gaining skills, and I've got my level at the bottom. Again, something we'll come back to, because the levels, that's one of my big, I don't know if I like this, pieces about Torchlight Frontiers. Of course, we got a quest log over on the right-hand side, a mini-map up at the top, and we do have the ability to go to a world view by pressing M. So right now I've got the Goblin Forest and the Infested Forest. These frontiers, Torchlight Frontiers, these frontiers are unlocked to me, so I can jump into the Goblin Forest and see each individual place in that map. You'll start working your way through a place, finding portals that you can jump to, you know, gates that kind of give you a quick way to hop around. And I've been in both Pathfinder's Trail and the Imperial Battlefield. I don't think I've gone to the well-trodden path yet, but apparently I can't port there, so maybe I just missed the keystone or the gate there. We'll find it out as we go. Taking the map one step further, I do have the ability to see the individual map that I am in, if so desired. All right, so I'm going to go to the fort first before we go to gameplay, because gameplay actually is pretty standard. You're going to kill a shit ton of monsters to get that sweet loot, to upgrade your gear, to gain some skills, and keep going, rinse and repeat over and over and over and over and over again. But you gain skill points just from killing monsters, so it's not something you have to level up to do to gain individual skill points per level or anything like that. I'm going to go to my fort and show you what I mean. Killing regular monsters is going to give you skill points, so you'll farm them along with experience, along with gold, along with loot. So it's literally everything is tied to killing monsters, and that's great. It's an ARPG. That's the way it should be. Every single thing that you're going to need, you can get. It's just a question of how many frickin' monsters are you willing to slay to do it. Your fort is your own little place in the world of Torchlight Frontiers, and this entire place can be customized through spending gold, and presumably, cash shop currency will probably play into this aspect of the game at some point. So we've got a couple Hero of Dusk and Hero of the Alliance. That was for participating in closed alpha testing, so I could place those. I could put in different decorations. Now, if you've seen earlier footage of the game, you know that this UI is drastically improved between this closed alpha and previous closed alphas. But let's say we want to build a crystal-filled barrel. That's going to cost us 3,300 gold, of which I only have 2,019. So we can't build that guy right now. We'll go back and see if we can find something a little cheaper. Let's, how about some goblin skulls? Can we build that? Holy hell, 8,800. So obviously just starting the game, not much I could do. Maybe I could build this. This is probably, yeah, 1 gold. This is a freebie. Alpha Hero Banner 2. Build that bad boy. Oh yeah. And then we can go ahead and place that anywhere in our fort that we want. So ton of customization if you're into the whole home decorating type thing. We can place this. We can rotate it with Q and E to face any way we want. And we're gonna, I don't want to place it right in front of him, so we'll put it over here. Which way is the front? Looks like this is the front. Right there. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So if you like that type of thing as far as building your own environment and changing the way this all looks, go for it. You'll also be farming resources out in the wild, wood and ore and things like that that come into play into crafting as well. One of the first things you'll craft, depending on your class, is it's called an Arcanum for the Dark Mage. or the Dusk Mage. This is where you learn your skills. So you've got your active skills, you've got your passive skills. These are what you need gold and skill points to unlock. So right now I can unlock some passives that I didn't have access to initially. So 50 SP, we're not going to unlock that yet. I want to actually, because of a quest I have, I want to upgrade my Arcanum, my skill well here, whatever you want to call it. By upgrading this, I had to do a quest where I got 2,000 gold and 200 skill points. So that's why I didn't want to spend, because I only had a little over 2,000 gold. I just finished the quest. We're going to go ahead and upgrade. All right, so now it looks pretty, or prettier, and I've got some new unlocks and some buffs because of that. Now, let's see. Can I unlock body block? I had enough. Let's unlock counter poison, because I had Arcanum. There we go. I can... Apparently, I was behind on those. And we are fine on our active skills, and I can go and see all of our completed skills as well. Now, there is no skill tree, per se. Let's hit I to go to inventory. You just get a list of all of your various active and passive skills, and then you can socket whichever active skills you want and whichever passive skills you want. Now, since I only have 2 passive skills, I'm going to put on body block, and this gains me 15 poison armor and 25% to all poison armor as a counter poison buff. So we'll put both of those on. So there is, again, a little bit of customization. Obviously not a ton of skills right now in closed alpha. Maybe that'll change, who knows. But you do get to pick kind of the way you want to play with the actual abilities that you have. Now, I got some HP going up here. We're going to head back out of the fort, and we're going to actually jump in. I've got some active quests. There's one I was working on, kill 100 goblins, and I need one more goblin champion. So we're going to work our way to the Imperial battlefield. Now, the quickest teleport there for me is right there, so we'll have to walk through a zone. We'll fight some things along the way, get some gold, get some skill points, and away we go. Now, while we're doing that, I want to talk about progression in Torchlight Frontiers, because this is what's going to be very different from other ARPGs that you may have played. Particularly, you know, the biggest competition for a game like this in the free-to-play space, obviously being Path of Exile. It's, while they have different art styles and things like that, and maybe you prefer one over the other, that's totally fine. This is just me using my left mouse ability to rock some level 1 goblins. Not really any point in doing too much ability-wise there. While you may like one's art style over the other, that's fine. Gameplay-wise, they're very, very similar, right? I'm in a public zone right now, so I may see other players running through here. There are little dungeons that I'll find on the map. You can see them up here in my mini-map. The little stone arches indicate either a portal to another public zone, or sometimes little dungeons in the map that go to little private zones that only you and your party, if you were in a party, can access. And that's where kind of like the MMO feel of what they wanted to do here comes in. In the main town, we're all together. There's these public zones where you can see other players. Honestly, so far, and it's alpha, and obviously I'm early. Oh, let's farm some... what do we got here? Ash tree. I haven't felt a need to party all that much. In fact, I don't think I've done it at all. It feels more to me like, you know, Diablo. I'm gonna party with friends when I want to, and when those friends aren't online, I'm generally just gonna do whatever the hell I want by myself in a lot of cases. There really isn't a need, unless you want to argue that some quests, like one that I'm on that we're gonna go try to finish here. I didn't finish harvesting that. Where I had to kill 100 goblins. I mean, obviously that would have been quite a bit faster if I was in a party, but difficulty-wise or anything, I didn't need a party. Now, that's not to say, we're going to move to the next zone, and it's public as well. That's not to say that there isn't higher-end content that may require parties, and I just haven't seen it yet. But in the early goings, I really haven't felt a need to go and party. Hey, there's Garf. What's up, Garf? Now you can see my map has changed a little bit to indicate I have some quests in the area. We're going to, again, be working our way over to kill Goblin, or Champion Goblins, so we'll be headed on the north side of the map here. Oh, did I not unlock this? I did unlock this. So how am I not able to port there? That's weird. Okay. We're going to work our way to the north side of the map. Now, here's the deal. I understand that the competition you're going against, Path of Exile, Diablo, those types of games, you have to do something kind of unique, or at least you want to try to do something a little unique to catch the attention, to be different from those. That's fine, and I applaud the Torchlight Frontiers developers for trying to do something along those lines. Again, we're still in a public zone, by the way. We haven't fallen into a cave or anything, but now I'm a little more level appropriate, so you'll see me using other abilities. Hey, my Relic Weapon leveled up. What they've done different is really focused on the progression. In the lower center of my screen, you see that I'm level 5. But that is only level 5 for this frontier, the Goblin area that I showed you on the map. Now, goblins tend to use fire a lot, and so you're going to see a lot of gear dropped that uses... See, I'm triggering these buffs by working the dark and light abilities like we talked earlier. They use a lot of fire, and you're going to see a lot of fire gear drop here. What happens, though, is when I go to the infested area, I am no longer level 5. I am level 1. Now, in fact, I personally am not level 1, but the first time you go there, you will be level 1. Now, you don't lose the gear that you had equipped, so, whoop, little lag there. And there are some performance issues. Again, technical alpha, so I've been given it a little bit of a pass because they're not terrible. All right, finally finished that quest. When you go to the infested area for the first time, even if you've worked your way up to level 5 here in the Goblin area, you will be level 1 in the infested area. It's called your frontier level, so you gain levels inside each frontier, independent of what your levels may be in other frontiers. And while that doesn't seem like, oh, okay, that's a little weird, but, you know, whatever, okay, it's a different take on progression. Well, what does that do to your gear? So if you're farming goblins like this forever, and you end up with level 5 gear, level 5 goblin gear, that is specifically maybe adding resistance to fire, because goblins like their frickin' fire spells, when you go to the infested area, you can still wear that gear. They don't take that away from you, but obviously its stats are squished a little bit, and more importantly, the elemental effect is gone. Well, it's not gone. It's on your gear, but it doesn't do anything. In the infested area, all those damn things want to use poison over and over and over again on you. Whoop, get out of the fire. Really easy to tell when you're standing and shit. They want to use poison on you, not fire. So you've got this gear that's being squished a little bit, and then more importantly, you've got elemental or status effect buffs or debuffs on your gear that don't apply. You know, I'm fire resistant, great, but in the infested area where everything wants to poison me, okay, fire resistant really doesn't do all that much. And your inventory, quite frankly, isn't big enough to be carrying multiple sets of gear on you. So you're going to want to go to the fort and stash some stuff and keep sets for various frontiers. So I think it adds, while being interesting in concept, I think it adds a little bit of ew to the process. That I've got to go back to my fort. If I want to be poison resistant because I'm going to a poison area, I need to go back to my fort to open up my stash and go get my poison gear. And yeah, we've obviously seen that in games for a long time. I You guys know I've played Final Fantasy XI forever, and that was very much a thing. Multiple gear sets. In particular, I was a red mage, so I had elemental out the ass. Let's go into the Murky Cavern for a quest. This is now a private zone, by the way. I don't think it really feels great in this type of game, and I'm hoping that it's something that changes or gets modified. It's just a kind of a wonky progression system. And the gear that drops in different frontiers may be level locked by that frontier. So although you are 5 in the Goblin Frontier, when you go to the Infested, you can't wear 5 gear that drops there because that is Infested level 5. So it's a bit odd, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, and I think as the game progresses, it's going to lead to that odd having to duck back and forth to get gear. Let's get this. And we got our energy buff. I don't even know what I'm doing in this cave. What am I doing here? I'm looking for the lucky loincloth and the fork. Because I've already found the cup, I think it was. All right, so we're going to stop right here just for a second and talk about Relic Weapons. That's another big, unique feature in the game. Again, we've mentioned that mine is equipped to W. You can see in my inventory that my Relic Sword is Blood Drinker. Now, while I'm carrying this, it is gaining levels. It is gaining experience there. You can see it's level 6. Each time it goes up, it gets its own different buffs and improvements, as you can see on the pane here below. Now, you switch to this weapon to deal extra damage or whatever the abilities are. It's a kick-ass weapon that you can switch to. Once you've switched to it, you can switch back immediately if you want, but keep in mind that your Relic Weapon is on a timer. So once you use it, it's going to be X amount of time. Ooh, shit, they lit me up. X amount of time before you can swap to it again. But it is a nice get out of danger. So we'll swap to it, and we'll start using the Relic Weapon, which now you've noticed is just mowing shit down. And this is just regular left mouse button attack changed. We're going to mow this stuff down. Get some gold out of these barrels. Now, Relic Weapons are something that Echtra Games did a whole blog post about as far as how you can make these, get these, acquire them, level them up, all the different types. There's a lot of information on them on the page. So now my Relic Weapon timed out. I'm back to my regular weapon again, and you can see I've got a cooldown timer before I'll be able to use Blood Drinker again. So it is a kick-ass weapon, but you can't use it all the time. All right, where is... Oh, not showing me the map. Get some ore. I have seen, on our way here, you saw the way they designate their champions or their elites. They have purple or gold circles under them, so very visible. As far as boss fights go, I've had 1 or 2 in different quests inside these little private areas. Not a ton yet. Again, still very early in my... Whoa, get out of the fire. Very early in my frontier leveling. Damn. Dude's just setting everything on fire. You need more mana. All right, there we go. Oh, no, come on. Cheaters. Cheaters. They rezzed him. No, we're not letting you do that again. Oh, and he got the damn res off. Kind of neat, though. I do like that. That the ads kept bringing the big guy back, the Goblin Engineer. No, no, I can't move. I'm stuck up against the rocks. All right, there we go. There we go. Now, Toast, my dog, he had a bit of a rough time there, so he'll be gone for a few more minutes. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to be exact, so it's just going to be me. Let's pop a potion there, because we're kind of getting hurt. I love the goblin noises, though. I do got to give it that. And I like the aesthetics of the game. I'm a fan of Torchlight 1 and 2, so the aesthetics definitely appeal to me. Again, the big question mark for me, and I'm going to want to see how it pans out when you start getting into higher levels and more frontiers, is that whole frontier leveling system. It just doesn't feel great early. Hopefully that'll change. We'll see.
You need more mana.
All right, well, we'll hit some people with big-ass hand for a minute. God damn it, fire. Got both of my buffs going. Oh, now we're back down to 1. What's that? Tin deposit. Pretty easy to find your materials for harvesting. I mean, they just show up on the map. Oh, I'm totally out of potions. Yeah. All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Whew. All right, we're going to use my own portal. We're going to head back to the Imperial Outpost. Being out of potions is not a good place to be in. But that gives you a sense of what Torchlight Frontiers is all about. You've seen the Goblin area now, and I'm going to go buy some potions here first before we head out. I think I do have a quest to turn in here, too. Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and buy these. That's fine. Oh, I don't have any inventory space. All right, we got to sell that. How come I can't buy? Do I not have enough gold? 25 apiece, and oh, I only have 15 gold. Okay, that looked like I had more there. I could have sworn. All right, let's sell some of this garbage gear. And I haven't had a chance to look at the rest of those yet. All right, we could buy some potions. Okay, good. So now we're at 4 potions. Fantastico. Now I should have a quest to turn in. Is it here? Killing those goblins? No, it is not. All right, well, I will take you to the infested area quickly here so that you can just see that each kind of frontier, biome, whatever you want to call it, I mean, they call it frontiers, has a very different look to it and a different feel and different enemy types. No, oh my god, I didn't want to go to my fort.
Your pet is back.
Welcome back, Toast. Welcome back. Each one has a very different feel to it and different enemy types. So there is variety. If you get bored of smacking goblins around, you know, it's easy to jump back into the Imperial Outpost or hop into your map and go somewhere else. So let's go to the Infested Forest. And we'll go to the pass. And I kind of love these creatures, too. Again, poison is kind of a nightmare here. I think I'm level 4, and I'm not switching my gear back and forth between fire and poison. I'm just kind of trying to brute force it, which isn't working all that well in some areas. But let's just give you a view of the types of monsters, that we will have in here. Is this a... Yeah, there's a portal. There's the old waypoint portal. The types of monsters you'll see in the infested region. I'm going to head north a little bit. Oh, I'm level 5 here. Okay. No, I'm not. Oh, this zone is level 5. I am level 4 in this zone. Okay. Yeah, you're going to start with the goblins. Then you'll work your way here. All right, so we're going to go to level 5, 6 public zone. I just want to show you the damn creatures, because I kind of like this frontier better than the goblins, although I do love the goblin noises. All right. So, obviously, a very different look, feel to the whole area. And here we've got more like the buggy-type monsters. And that makes sense with our whole they're trying to poison the hell out of me, which they just did. Which they already just did. All right, not poisoned anymore. I will give them credit. It is very easy to tell when you are standing in something or you have a status effect on you. Something very visibly and not out of the way shows up. So it is clear. You know, I am poisoned right now. Boom. I am standing in fire, and the whole screen starts to turn orange. But gang, that's Torchlight Frontiers. Again, alpha, so a lot could change. Don't hold it to this, and if a lot changes, of course, we'll come and do a first look update review like we do for games that have huge changes like that. Until next time, though, I'm Magic Man from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe, and we'll see you out on the servers.